As Stephen Hester announced he was stepping down later this year, the Chancellor praised him for making an important contribution to Britain's recovery from the financial crisis, turning round a bust bank to make the Royal Bank of Scotland safer and stronger. RBS said he was leaving to give the bank continuity at a time when the government can prepare to privatise it. But why now? In a moment, we'll ask Stephen Hester live in the studio. But first, our business correspondent, Sarah Smith.
Stephen Hester was thrust into the spotlight when he agreed to take over RBS, and he never looked comfortable there as he lurched between crisis and disaster. Today, another shock announcement. He's leaving after 5 years at the top, prompting speculation he was pushed out before the bank can be re-privatised.
I had a fantastic 5 years here, and during that time, I think we've accomplished a great deal. And I think that it is a sensible thing for the board to look forward to privatisation. In fact, what we've accomplished allows that, and I can completely understand that a fresh face with the ability to commit many years into the future may be a good thing for privatisation.
He took over a bank that would have collapsed had it not been bailed out with £45 billion of taxpayers' money. That meant he worked for us. So when he wanted to accept a £1 million bonus for running a bank that was still losing money, there was a public revolt, and he had to turn it down.
If you asked my mother and father about my pay, they would say it's too high as well. So even when some people close to me have that view of bankers.
What will they think of a £1.6 million payoff for leaving, with another £4 million in shares he can cash in later? A massive systems failure that stopped RBS customers getting at their own money cost Hester his bonus last year. And then RBS had to admit their traders had been deliberately fixing interbank lending rates, or LIBOR. The $45 billion question is, when will we be able to sell our stake in RBS, get at least some of our money back? And why won't Stephen Hester be the man to make that happen?
5 years ago, RBS was on the edge of collapse, and Stephen Hester has done a very good rescue job. But now we need to move from taking RBS back from the brink and out of the rescue phase to a new phase where RBS does more to support the British economy, and we focus on trying to get British taxpayers' money back, and that's what we're going to do.
How is he going to do that? That is a very contentious question. The government may have to give away shares if they can't sell them for as much as they paid. They may need to split RBS into a good and bad bank. The one thing we do know for sure today is they've decided Stephen Hester is not the man for that job. Maybe because he didn't agree with the government's latest plans.
I think he probably thought there are lots of political noises off which are not allowing me to get on with my plan A. You see, his original plan was to start selling off shares into the private sector at the beginning of this year. Now, that hasn't happened.
In the end, Hester was crippled by trying to run RBS while Downing Street wanted to pull the strings. And the bank say he will leave just as soon as a successor is found.
Well, our political editor, Gary Gibbon, is in Westminster now. Is George Osborne behind this?
Well, the board, with George Osborne's support, has decided now is the moment to go. It appears that Stephen Hester, and you'll be able to ask him about this in a second, wanted to hang around for around about a couple of years, and the board thought it was better if that he hung around for several years, or whoever runs the bank in the future is around for several years, to see through the entire privatisation process. The board seemed to come to that view possibly April, May. You see an interview that Stephen Hester is giving in the newspaper saying, "I'm happy to stay around if other people are happy to have me." It sounded like he was running a little bit of a mini campaign there. But in the end, that isn't what the board wanted, and the Treasury have gone along with that.
Well, what do the Treasury want for RBS now?
I think that is, as Sarah was saying, the $45 million question. And Stephen Hester may have an idea what it is. And of course, we've all been wondering, is there something in what the Treasury plan for the privatisation that Stephen Hester doesn't like? The suggestion I get talking to people in Whitehall and in the city is that actually the government's plans for RBS, the structure of that privatisation, is not yet clear enough for Stephen Hester to have taken offence at it. And so that doesn't appear to be, you'll be able to ask him about this, doesn't appear to have been the problem here. There does seem to be a little bit of a difference between the Treasury and the bank in terms of how quickly this privatisation should proceed. People in the Treasury are sounding a little bit sort of like they want to pull back a bit from a very fast sale, not quite ready. Certainly don't want to be committed in public to a 2014 sale. People at the bank talking about 2014.